Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by Scumbag Mikey. Hey Mikey.
Best kind of Mikey there is.
It's the only one that's authorized in countries that are outside of Ireland.
Countries outside of Ireland, there's so few of those.
Exactly. There's only like one other, and that's England. Yeah. How's it going, Mikey?
I'm not too bad, are you?
Yeah, fine. It is coming up to Christmas, so that is a time of year that's not my time of year, shall we say. So just cracking on, as we say. I think, actually, where were you, Mikey? The people wanted to know, where was Mikey last week?
I was in England.
England.
I was doing job fossil-related things in England.
Ooh.
And then I was talking to people in England and rearranging their stuff in their house in England because it was funny.
Did they know that you were rearranging things, or were you just, doing a Mikey?
See, they went on holiday the day after I left, so no.
Oh dear.
They're going to come back and think they were robbed. It'll be great.
What did you do to that place?
Just move stuff around.
It just looks like a tornado has gone through. One
Tables
or two
in the
things.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Kitchen's in the table.
Cats in the living room. Weird, they didn't have a cat. They do now. Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah,
we are happy to have you back.
Don't lie to my face.
I'm not. I'm doing it over the internet, so I can't see your face.
Oh, good. That makes it so much better.
And I'm currently not looking at Skype that has your face as your profile picture, so it also still counts.
Look at me.
No. We're going to kick off this week, Mikey, with, I guess, the most controversial topics, too.
I mean, it does. I would say Crappy Corner does kind of apply.
Yes, I would agree.
To one.
To one of them. Yes.
One of them it does. To the other, I think, is being kind of unfairly victimized. But you can. Which one am I talking about? That's the thing.
Yes, it's a story I should have talked about last week, but I can tell you why I forgot, because it's not on the front page of any news site.
Odd
no, this one. Yeah, neither of these are.
Odd. One of them, I'm surprised it's not on the front page of at least a couple. The other one, I would be surprised if anyone talks about it.
Yeah, yes.
And transmissions.
Charles got us as well. Charles gets us. I heard them talking, and Charles was like, I think Mikey at least was joking. I was like, I was joking too, Charles, but whatever.
And he was standing on his hill, just like, this is important.
What I was doing was, the OK symbol, or the 3D symbol that the Dudley Boys used to do. I was doing that, but flicking my wrist up and down and going, pure, unadulterated artwork should be in the modern galleries, seen by the world. And if you couldn't tell yes, that's I was not being for realsies. That was my jokey. But what do you want to start off first with, Mikey? Do you want to start off with the real salt? The
easy one.
Which one's the easy one? Is that the less salty one or the more salty
one? The less
one?
salt. The one that's low sodium.
Okay, we'll go with the low sodium story because they're both involving Arcees of different kinds. And they are both third parties, again, of different kinds. And the first one we're going to talk about is Sunbird, is it? Is that what this Arcee is called? Firebird.
Firebird or Sunbird?
I think it's Firebird. It's coming from a Chinese company, but I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. Can you, Mikey?
No, off the top of my head, no.
Well, I'll have a little perusey while I attempt to talk about it. There was an Arcee that was revealed not this week, current week, but the previous week, which was a slightly more saucy Arcee figure. Risque. That seems to be heavily based off a Chinese Overwatch-styled game. And I don't know what that Transformer Overwatch game is, but I think Transmissions got it confused with the MMO that we had over here, which I can't remember what that was called, but that was more based off Prime.
You used to play.
Yeah, the one I used to play.
That's not the same. No. I remember those designs.
Yes, those were Transformers Prime-esque. They were almost the in-betweeny stage between Prime and RID, even though I don't think RID was even thought of at that point. And this is very much a anime highly anime.
Godanner, almost.
What's Godanner for those that don't know?
Godanner is the one. Godanner is an anime. It's got these very humanoid, almost Brave-esque robots. And it's more famous for the fact that every female has jiggle physics that would make shows like Gurren Lagann blush.
Is it
anyone who's played Dead or Alive?
I was gonna bring up Dead or Alive because that's like as soon as you said jiggle physics, I was like, what is a game that? Oh yes, of course, it's Dead or Alive. No shame. Actually, they should have a bit of shame because, I'm not a big fan of the Dead or Alive games.
They were never that great, to be honest.
Not really, especially when you had games like Tekken and Street Fighter. All their characters just seemed boring. But that's just my opinion on Dead or Alive. But yes, they showed off an Arcee figure. There weren't any like full on shots. They were more like teaser.
There were some pretty full on shots, Andy.
There were some pretty full on shots, Mikey.
The accompanying character art is pretty full on.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to tell us about it a bit more?
Okay, so the base robot is a pretty stylish looking Arcee alt mode. And then she transforms into a very, very anime female mecha robot. By which I mean her pink bits are basically a bra and knickers.
Yeah.
And she has gigantic breasts.
It's very
at least
much
medium-sized robot breasts. It's not Nautica big, but pretty big.
It's in the vein of that statue that is Imaginarium. Was that who did that?
Yeah, I think so. But to be honest, there've been a couple of saucy Arcee statues that are all official.
Yeah, oddly enough, I would say this looks more legit than that statue, and I don't know if that's
her thighs aren't the size of her upper body.
Well, I was thinking that it's maybe it was my bias that this thing actually transforms or will transform versus the statue that doesn't. But that seemed more slavish to the G1 design and kind of slimmed down everything to the point where it is just a human cosplaying, while this one does feel a bit more like a transforming robot.
Yeah. But she's so she's at Firebird's the company, and she's the ex-paladin.
Ah, okay. So her figure is called ex-paladin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But so like she comes with a sword, and part of her transforms into a shield, and we've got CG renders, and they're all taken like one CG render, it's her boobs, and the other one is from the below as she's like walking over, so it's just like up her crotch, and there's a very prominent line down the middle of her crotch as well. That can't be accidental, and just like her boobs are blocking her head. But the character art is based off of a very common fan art, doujin art style, which is, here's a fairly sexy shot with a keep out sign saying not for you. So we've got one of those from above where she's blushing and you can see down her cleavage, and the other one which is covering her ass. Yeah, so here's the thing, I actually like the design.
Yeah.
This is a very standard thing to see in a mecha show where they have humanoid proportion robots, these kind of like sexy proportions, so this does not affect me in the slightest. I think it's ridiculous.
Yes.
It's ludicrous, but it's just like I'm sure Transformers fans who have no like encounter with mecha anime.
Hey Mikey, go in a guy.
Yeah, I was going to. There will be an example, but like,
was it going to guy by any chance?
It was going to guy, but people said like, "Oh my god, this is the skeeviest thing I've ever seen." I'm just like, we've mentioned them before. Check out the Onryu, Koryu,
the garage kits. Yeah,
what they did was take pretty like characters who had this proportion, like, and then decided to take it to a level 10.
Yeah,
and they're the only figure of those characters you can get. So
until Super Mini Pla fixes that.
Yeah, Mini Pla.
Fucking better. Like those two.
But so like this, like I've seen this proportions in shows, in manga, in a million things. So this has very little effect on me beyond the, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But a lot of people have been pissed at this. Like, Daryl said something that I actually want to unpack a little bit when we get on to the next bit.
Oh, okay.
Like, for context of how, like, this isn't even pushing the boundary of Japanese female robot designs. For context, like, if you've heard anything about mecha anime, you've heard of Mazinger and Majin Kaiser, right?
Yeah. And
they traditionally have a female robot of some sort. And she, broadly speaking, has these proportions, except usually bigger boobs.
Which are also fire missiles for some reason.
But every single one is at one point involved in a fight with a monster, and that monster will get behind her and just start squeezing.
Yeah.
Remember, these are missiles as well, so that is a brave monster.
That's a monster without a care in the world.
Probably no hands by the end of it. But, like, it's happened to the point of just, like, what? And for context, this is a manga and an anime designed by the guy who invented hentai.
Really?
He certainly invented hentai as it is nowadays. He is
Really?
the father of the
that.
modern porn comic.
Huh. Because, I mean, that kind of
I'm sure there's other one. I'm sure I have not looked into the history of it, but there's other ones. But he is credited with like, and this is when it became a thing.
Right, because I know that hentai was a thing back in like I hate to say Edo time because of that goddamn village.
With their pictures of weird octopuses.
Well, not that kind, but I know that.
No, that kind exists.
Was it?
That
back
exists.
in Edo time.
They were worth a lot of money.
Oh, okay. I definitely know. I remember seeing like
Tentacles predates TV.
Okay. I definitely remember seeing some like ancient stuff which was on a TV show which kind of showed it off, and I was like, oh, it's interesting. It kind of dated back all the way till that time period as well. But so you're saying that this guy did the more modern interpretations of it. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's I think he did some softcore series that basically laid the groundwork, and then they morphed into his. He's like, never read the Devil Man Lady manga. I made a mistake of doing that.
Yeah.
There's some things in that first issue.
I bet.
Or don't read anything with Devil Man in it because it's never happy. No one's happy. Nothing's happy. Don't watch Netflix. But Andy, like, so I'm like, just it's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's. For the context, it's pretty harmless compared to how bad this gets.
Yes, agreed.
But what's your overall take on it?
I think it's a neat design. I'm more interested to see what it is as a full reveal, but seemingly no website wants to talk about this, so it's going to be difficult to find any future updates to this, I imagine. I'm guessing Dime Chalk probably will put up something, right?
I'll probably keep an eye out.
Yeah, probably like that. So I'm interested to see how it comes out a little bit more. I think a paint scheme as well could either exacerbate it or make it better, depending on how they do it. Because I think another thing I didn't like about the concept art for this, the thing I'm not too fussed on is there's not a lot of pink.
Because it really is being used to give that underwear swimsuit highlight effect.
Definitely. And I personally, because I think it's just more visually interesting with a bit more colour to it, I'd definitely like to see more colour on it, and also it would probably help people not be so upset by it or not like it as much. If you put on some more colour and stuff like that, it might help in that kind of sense as well, potentially. But the general design looks quite interesting, quite fun, potentially. But who knows until the toy actually comes out. Do we know if this company's done anything else? Because I don't think we do.
No, I think this is the first, at least under this company name.
Yeah, so it might be a terrible toy anyway to begin with. No one knows. What about you, Mikey?
I think I'd like to see the prototypes. I'd like to see something physical. I think Arcee is kind of the most boring color scheme you can do with this.
Yeah.
But
Me and you were talking, and we were like, you know what, Flame War would be a good choice.
And it works.
Yeah, it really does.
Thematically.
Yeah.
You could just get her in the BotCon Flame War and just like, yep, this is happening. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's ludicrous and stupid, and I'm not really bothered by it.
No, I think it's fair enough. But there you go.
Neat car.
It is a neat car, yeah. Nice, fancy car. Do we have anything else on this, or should we move on to the real salty stuff?
Let's get to something that's probably broken a lot of blood pressure vessels.
Yes, because we're probably late to the party talking about this, because it came out, I think, on Monday. I think is when it kind of dropped. What was the company that did it? Because I haven't got
Toys.
Den Toys.
Which a lot of people are now saying it's probably like some sort of weird
offshoot fans
pseudonym
toys.
for fans toys, but yeah. I don't know.
I could see some logic to that way of thinking, to be honest.
It's just very specific, isn't it?
It is. It's not out of the realms of possibility. But what is this? For those not aware, this was an upgrade kit for the fans toys Arcee. Do you remember what she was called?
Rouge, her name was.
Rouge, okay.
I think some people call it Rogue, but it was Rouge.
Okay. Fans Toys Rouge, who had the controversy at the start, if you remember those promotional images that had Springer going down on her and her doing the sex face.
Which In the context, and she had the finger with the poke as well through the whole, like the sex finger motion.
I don't remember. Oh yes, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So her basically her options, and also she had a swappable chest to make it a slight more curved.
Oh yeah. See, I forgot about that as well. This is why
I'm
we
only
keep you
remembering
around.
now, and I'm just like suddenly the whole this might be fan stories in disguise is making more sense.
Yes, yeah, because this company, Den Toys, did you say?
Den Toys.
Den Toys decided to do an upgrade kit of a fleshy material.
Yep.
Of a fleshy pair of
Pair.
of mammary glands for Arcee. In 2 sizes, I think they were.
3.
3 sizes. My apologies, Arcee.
And a replaceable cover with like of her normal like chest with like which is squishable to give the impression that she's wearing clothes over.
See, I was going to ask because
significant memories.
I couldn't remember if that was a hard bit of plastic that went over the top or whether that was soft.
No, there's a picture of them testing it with a pen.
Okay.
And pushing on it to show that it's flexible.
So this came out, and a lot of people got angry.
Oh, you forgot. The reason she comes with 3 sets of boobs
Yes.
is because they're all in different styles.
See, I didn't look that closely, so I didn't really know what do you mean by 3 styles? Or do you not want to go into it because it's
They're
a bit too
basically,
saucy?
hey, do you have a certain preference in breast shape in a woman?
Okay.
I don't know how else to approach this
Okay.
tastefully
No, I mean,
without using the word titties 15 times.
to be fair, when it comes to this story, and arguably the people that made it, I don't think taste really comes into it. You know,
There is that.
There is that. So when I saw the original images pop up, I was like, this is a bit stupid. And then I kind of clicked through, and it was weird. The way that each picture kind of came up, it seemed to escalate. Like, it was just, here's an RC with a different chest. Okay, here's an RC with the exposed boobs. And I was like, okay, fair enough. And then it was, I think, the different sizes, the pushable chest, and then it was the nipple pinching orgasmic picture, which was the last one. And I just started going, what are you doing? what is this?
I think I put up just on Twitter, just like, I have no words.
Yes. I definitely did laugh at it because I was like, someone did it. It almost felt like a comedy sketch. Like, oh, this is gonna annoy people. What's the last image we could get to really fucking annoy people? And this was the conclusion. I was like, wow, they just don't care. They don't give a shit. It's not something I would want. I think I can easily say that.
I feel it's worrying we have to qualify that.
Yeah, but I feel that we kind of do.
Because we don't own Fan Stories Rouge anyway.
No, that is another thing. Like this is not the thing I was waiting for to make me go, you know what makes me want a Fans Toys Rouge? Some squeezable boobs on it. I'm like, well, now I'm sold. Here we go, rock and roll, boys.
Yep.
Yeah, this really doesn't do it for me. I would be interested in the person who sees the upgrade kit first and then decides to buy the toy.
They're real, you know.
Of course they are. The thing that annoyed me, I think, more than anything else was when people were saying that this thing shouldn't exist. And is it distasteful? I certainly think it's distasteful.
Yes, I wouldn't. If you went into someone's house and this was on their shelf, you would be looking for an excuse to leave.
Yeah, but I don't think that it shouldn't be there for them to buy because I mean, someone made this for a reason, seemingly to make money. So they assume that there is a market for this. We both have been on anime like toy sites before, and we've me and you have had the discussion of why would someone want to buy a statue of an anime character where you can remove the clothes on the character completely. But that's a thing, and those statues have been around for a long time, and they clearly make money off them. So there is a demographic and a market for these statues. So I guess I can see the connection to this upgrade kit. I don't know anyone that would want them, but I wouldn't shame anyone for buying it because, you know, do what they like. They're not hurting anyone as far as I can tell. And that's the Mr. Tricky on Welcome to Kimia made this point as well. You know, you live in a democracy. This is part of that. If you go and censor stuff, where does it stop? Do you censor stuff that only you don't like? You know. I don't know. Mikey, what were your thoughts on this?
I've been kind of organizing my thoughts all week on this.
I've been trying to, but then every day I wake up and forget everything I was thinking about the night before on what I would say.
And as you scroll down, it's just like, and they're back again.
And the screaming begins.
Just like, how long did you spend on that pose? Okay, so what got me really thinking, Daryl said this, and Stu gave the impression of this. I don't think he used these exact words, so I'm paraphrasing.
Sure.
That there is no place in our fandom for this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This was said originally about the RC, but the RC figure, but it was really emphasized for the memory, booby, titties, whatever. I don't know. Like,
what's the most respectable way to call them? Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't think respectable applies.
No, there's really
and
not.
also, Tricky said he doesn't understand how there's a market for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, I'm just going to preface this with, like, no, I don't want to buy a pair of these, and I would not really feel comfortable owning a pair of these.
No.
I won't even buy the fucking Kill the Kill Figmas, partly because, like, I just don't want to explain that, and just like, no, it's not actually that sexual a show.
You think
when
it
the
is,
mother
but
shows
it's
up.
not. Yes.
As long as the mother's not around, it's fine. But so I'm just prefacing any comment I'm having with that. No, this is not something I personally approve of. I just don't.
Sure.
And I certainly don't encourage anyone to buy it. I think I can see if you're a woman, this is probably pretty degrading to see.
Sure.
Like seeing a porn magazine just laid out on the coffee table or something like that, and people saying like, "No, I'm not moving it."
I like the idea that you have a porn mag as your coffee table piece book.
Big one.
So some people have like pictures of the world, architecture, artwork.
I've got pictures of the globe.
Yeah, I've just got what's a porn? Big jugs or something.
I don't know. Big milk jugs. It's actually just milk jugs.
Yeah, for the
Tommy jugs of the world.
For the countryman that appreciates a good farming life.
But the thing about that got me was like there's no market and there is no place. There is 100% a market of this.
Oh yeah.
Like we mentioned the Japanese sites. Like I don't ever have safe search on because it annoys. I don't like censorship in general.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I've seen stuff I should never have seen. But 5 seconds on any anime website will show you like the market for this kind of stuff is enormous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just the Japanese because it exports over here as well.
And I refuse to believe it's just men as well, to be honest.
No, it's not. I have seen plenty of women who own these things.
Yeah.
And just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But all you need really, like you need the Fans Toys Rouge fanatics, and you need people who are into having nude women on their shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a small enough bracket, but that bracket exists. And there are people who are into boobs, who are into robots with boobs, who will buy this and Rouge specifically to have it.
Yeah.
Like robot fetishism, it's a thing. But to say there's no place for it is I don't think you ever get that right, in my opinion. Because fandom is a place for everything.
Yeah, the thing that defines it, I guess, is the free market. The free market decides if it should or shouldn't exist.
Yeah. If there's no money to be made from it, this will not be made again.
Yeah.
If there is, someone will make it again.
Yeah.
But like how best to explain this? So one of the most prominent things of TN Nation is the severe is the wrong word, but sharp growth in female attendees.
Mm-hmm.
Many of which came in through Tumblr.
Yes, thanks to Lost Light and the rest of the IDW comics. I think that's fair to say for the most part.
Yeah. I know many of them. I get on with many of them. We have nice chats. I've gotten free art off many of them. It's I've got no real complaints. Many of them have made money at conventions or online from selling hardcore Transformers porn. It can be straight, it can be homosexual, it can be male, it can be female, but it is Transformers being very, very graphically sexual. They're like, and they are also very anatomically correct at the same time, right? But we do celebrate the inclusion of these individuals in our fandom because of we think it's a positive effect. But they are creating this stuff. And I have seen a couple of people who create this stuff who are complaining about this RT thing because of it's objectifying women when they're objectifying women themselves.
I would say it's not a complete apples to apples comparison.
I
think if we're using a store analogy, we're still in the vegetable section. We're not going to the canned goods or the frozen food aisle. We're still it's an apple and a banana. We're still in the same fruit aisle.
Yeah. But whether you like it or not, this is in the shop.
Sure.
And this is something that is not going away. It's always existed. And I don't get outraged or offended in real life. I don't. It's certainly not over media. So this doesn't outrage me. It doesn't offend me.
Evangelion.
that just irritates me. But that's a very good example, right? Because
Yes.
there's very few. I will not turn off from media for most things. I really have very low tolerance for seeing sexual assault in fiction. Very low tolerance. One of the reasons, apart from everything else, that I will never turn End of Evangelion on again is because Shinji sexually assaults the main female character.
Sure.
And she is the only female character who isn't a fucking object in that show. And in that, she is turned into an object when he masturbates over her, and it's a big thing, and we're still supposed to support him at the end.
Yeah.
By the way, he also tries to sort of strangle her at the very end.
Yeah.
But he's still supposed to be our POV character, like that little bit of ray of hope that humanity might have a chance. I won't watch that. Some of the people complaining about this figure have produced things, artwork, of Transformers characters being raped. Graphically, severely. Without wanting to go into too much details, I have seen one of oral sex where, like, I think it was Drift was murdered because Spike shot out of someone's penis and blew his head off.
Jesus.
Yeah. I find that very offensive. That's as close to offensive as I will ever find something. I find it uncomfortable. I find it disrespectful. I find it much worse than sticking a pair of tits on a robot.
Sure.
I'm not going to get rid of that still has a place in this fandom. It's not a place I really want to hang out, but that place exists. If I have to accept that, and I feel I do, because there's nothing to be gained by overall censorship, I also have to accept that there is a fella or a girl out there buying this toy and is sticking a pair of tits in it and sticking it on a shelf.
Well, I wouldn't say you need to accept it. I would just
I
say
think accept is the key word. Because
it's probably the right term to use, but the way I would probably phrase it is just not go near it. You're not going to interact with it.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
But like I said, I will not turn on safe search when
exactly.
I'm going anywhere. And I'm also I'm not particularly happy Tumblr is doing what it's doing at the moment because I think some people's creativity is being stifled.
No, that feels like an offshoot of complaints within the games industry of the sexualization, and this is kind of an on-knocking effect from that. That's how
some
I
people's
take
defense of the cartoon, the 2-year-old cartoon character was drawing in something that they shouldn't be in. That's fine. No, that's not fine.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah.
But by accepting that this part of the fandom exists, and it does, and we welcome it at conventions, we really genuinely accept people who make this stuff into our social circles. We also have to accept people who do this. We don't have to like it. We don't have to approve of it. But you don't get to gatekeep. Like, it's a damaging term to use, I think. But I think it's an important one. We do not get to decide what comes in and out.
Yeah.
The fandom will evolve along whatever direction it will, and each little pocket will go off in its different direction. The G1ers there are some G1ers who are as offended by the idea that animated exists. I have met them. So I don't want to ramble on about this anymore because I'm probably massacring a point and insulting 15 different people while doing it. But
that is the problem with talking about this subject as well. Some people have gotten clearly very offended by it, and that is it's understandable, but it is kind of a shame.
I don't know. So anyway, there is an Arcee out there that you can upgrade to have a massive pair of boobs
if you wish to, or don't.
And they can be perky or floppy.
Yep,
it's up to you.
Yep, your choice.
Or don't.
Or don't.
Didn't we enter a competition to win that figure during the week?
No, the one we were going for was the Oculus Max one.
Oh, good. That's much better.
It was the one I really wanted was the stealth version, the black one that was from TFCon. But it was only the normal pink one.
Smile.
Someone pointed out, though, I can't remember where, but she said that that Oculus Max Arcee has really tiny feet, and now I can't unsee how tiny her feet are on that figure. I was like, oh,
where's my foot fetish add-on, Andy? Where's my comes with active tongue, like a tongue just molded in?
You just get 2 Fort Maxes and just glue them to Arcee's feet. Boom, done, sorted. So yeah, there's our crappy bit of news for this week. It was an interesting week, one could say.
One could say. I would like not to have that many interesting weeks going forward.
Agreed.
Although I still want to see more of that full figure.
Yeah, the Paladin one.
Full figure, not full figured.
I see what you did. Well, then, Mikey, do you want to take us on to our first bit of proper news? Proper news,
But not one I'm excited for.
Agreed.
Which is Keith's Fantasy Club have revealed renders of a Power Master Optimus Prime with Apex armor, so it can turn into Apex Prime or God Jinrai, or whatever you want to call it. This is just a render. It's very along the lines of a posable G1 toy. We don't get full renders of the God Jinrai mode. We've got the powered up mode. Or the Power Master mode, but the God Jinrai mode or the Apex armor mode we see from the back. We've also got the vehicle mode of the armor, and we've got the Power Master, who looks like he's quite posable. He looks fine. It's just my first reaction to this was, oh no, Keith's Fantasy Club. What's your thoughts?
From the amount of Power Master Primes that we've had with the combinations of God Jinrais, I don't think this has any kind of flair to it at all. To me, it looks real standard and a little bit on the boring side, to be honest. Granted, again, these are just CG renders, so things can be tweaked and added and all that jazz. But I look at it, and for the Power Master Prime Super Mode, Super Jinrai, if you want to call him that as well, he looks really stretched and elongated. Like, he doesn't look like he's in proportion to himself. Is that unfair to say? Like, his legs and his arms look too long to me.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's just boring because there's been a good few Power Master Primes coming out at this point, and this is late to the game and without any visual flair. And we do have that worry because both me and you have had worries for a while now about Keith's Fantasy Club. This is another one of those, and to us at least, they haven't really brought anything amazing to the table. From what either of us have seen, but there will be someone, I'm sure, that likes this. But if you wanted a Power Master Prime, I'm not sure if this is the one you would like. If you wanted one, you've probably already bought one, and I don't think this is the one that would make you want one. If you know what, is that unfair?
The Fans Hobby one or the Thunder Erebus?
Was that the Make Toys one where they went crazy?
Make Toy Mastermind or something like that. I'd get one of those.
Yeah.
Like the Fans Hobby is probably your G1, your go-to G1 one. But I wouldn't bother with this. Just because, like, one, it's not very interesting looking, and two, this is not a company I have faith in.
No. And I look at some of the things, like the point of the missile, I'm like, will that cause you to bleed? Because Captain Shark, bless him, he was very stabby. Every point on that shark was a hazard to a child. Oh boy. Anything else, Mikey, there?
Not really for me.
Shall I take us on then?
Indeed.
You may remember this, Mikey, from, it feels like 2 or 3 years ago at this point. Fans Hobby MB-08 Double Evil, which is a G1 Overlord. Now, I feel we've seen this from a very, very long time ago, right?
Long time now.
Yeah, now we have full coloured images of it. Test shots, if you would. And you get to see him in his combined mode. You get to see the Power Masters, which are not chromed up yet or painted gold yet, which I'm sure they will be, and silver, of course, because they're just basic white plastic for the engine parts. You get to see both vehicle modes, and no base, though. Oh, no, they don't show the tank either from these images.
No,
Weird.
they don't. It's just a jet.
I assumed they would. My bad. I just checked. I'm glad I did. We also have a price for it as well. You can pre-order it apparently already for $225 US dollars, and will be released in the first quarter of 2019. So he is
cheaper than Optimus Prime.
There is that. There will be a section I want to get onto later, Mikey, which will just be tell me about the things that you didn't get to talk about last week, but we'll get onto that later. This guy seems expensive. I'm not sure if he's in scale with Masterpiece Toys or how big he is compared to them offhand. I'm sure they showed off some stuff ages ago, but I can't remember. How do you think it's turned out then, Mikey? Now it's all coloured up and whatnot. Well, not coloured up, but at least printed in or made in its correct plastic without its paint.
He's a chunky monkey.
He is. Do you like that? Is that something you want from a G1 Overlord? Because does this feel G1 Overlord to you?
G1
feel
definitely
IDW.
Definitely G1, and I think that's if this was going to be an IDW Overlord, the chunk would be a bit over much for me. But like this, as it is, like for G1, it works.
I think there's definitely a blend though of IDW, especially with the shoulders.
I can see that.
That was not a G1 thing.
But I think, like, especially it's amazing how much the face defines your overlords.
Yes, no, it does nowadays for sure. For sure, yeah.
So, but no, yeah. Apart from like the IDW G1 or anything else, I think he looks pretty solid. He looks very posable. Hopefully, the transformation is a bit more complicated than it looks. But it looks like he's got all the old gimmicks.
Is your fear that he's going to be locked into the it's just G1 with joints kind of transformation?
Yeah, a little bit, but at least his... Yeah, basically, that's kind of what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
And at $225, I want more from that.
It looks like he has rubber treads. The treads look like they are separate from the tank's bottom, so it looks like they'll move on their own, so that's something. That's something
good,
a bit more different.
Rubber is always a slight concern. Rubberized plastic.
Yeah, especially for time. Yeah, I prefer hard plastic just because it's going to last longer for the most part, unless there's a special rubber plastic that now lasts for 10,000 years.
In which case, we need to stop making it.
No, yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, I can tell you what I'm not a big fan of. I don't like how the chest panels open up. They seem very thick, and they don't seem to sit well against the side of the arms. And I don't like how deep into the chest the Power Masters seem to go. They almost seem like they're in there too far.
Yeah, maybe that feels like it needs a spring option.
Maybe. There is the worry, well, maybe not a worry, but you then need to have locking points and stuff like that. I'd prefer if it was just a shallower hole, shall we say, and you push them in, but you still have enough finger room to pull them out.
Yeah.
They just seem a bit too deep set.
Feels weirdly like it's designed to close over them, and I just don't know why you'd ever do that.
No, because I think you're actually right. I'm pretty sure that will probably be the case. And yeah, if you're going to have the Power Masters, you're going to have them on display. If you're going to have the chest closed, you'd probably... Maybe it's for storage, so if you don't want to have the Power Masters out, or the God Masters out, it's somewhere to keep them. I don't know. Seems like a weird choice. So it's not my design anyway. Let's go with that. Mikey, I want you to tell me, though, about movie toys. Toys from the movies.
Toys from the movies. So we have had images of Studio Series Dark of the Moon, Optimus, Megatron, and on Optimus, and Jetfire, and World War II Bumblebee, and Barricade, and Dirty Chimera Bumblebee, and Berserker Crankcase, whichever one it is, the one with the wrong head. So, the leader class Megatron, it's the Dark Moon design. He is a truck. He transforms into his really fecked up robot mode. He comes with a little Igor head.
Yeah, that's neat.
And he also has a cloak and chest chains. The cloak is kind of the big thing for people.
As a good thing or a bad thing?
As a thing that they're interested in.
Okay.
I see what they were going for. I don't think it turned out that well.
You mean for the cloak?
For the cloak. I think the base figure looks pretty on point.
Right.
I think the cloak looks a wee bit too much like a bit of burlap you had around.
I think, though, it looks a bit better than hard plastic, and it gives you more posing options to at least do something with the cape on instead of him having it on and then him being locked effectively into a few poses, apart from maybe what you can do with his legs. But it does look... The way I would, I guess, describe the look of the material is, do you remember Lego capes that you get with the minifigs? It looks like one of them, and they're not, like, good.
Great.
No, they're very basic. And I think it's okay, but on the lower end of okay, if you know what I mean. Just like like you say, you can see what they're doing, but it's maybe not the best effect. But I guess I prefer this more than hard plastic.
Yeah, and I don't care. Also, I don't care how much people are like, oh my god, I want to see them do this. How they do movie 1 Megatron.
No, just terrible design.
Just you've done the Megatrons that kind of matter.
Yeah.
Just don't forget about that first design. It was atrocious. I don't care if the engineering would be literally magic. Next up is Jetfire. What do you think of him?
He looks like he wants to die in robot mode, which is apt.
He does.
It's apt. It's very, very applicable. It's way better than our previous versions we've had of Jetfire, so again, that's a plus.
His SR-71 does have a beard.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it's popping out the sides. Oh, that's weird. Whatever.
Still better than the other one. But...
So does that mean his beard just splays? Oh no, it's not his beard. It's like the side bits of his head
mutton chops.
fur. Yeah. Yeah, weird. I guess they just couldn't hide that stuff.
Yeah.
Is this a leader? Or is this a deluxe?
Yes,
Not deluxe.
this is a leader.
Jesus, deluxe. It's a shame then that they couldn't find a way to hide it. But I mean, that toy to get it from A to B, everything from like Revenge of the Fallen was just like a toy designer's nightmare. I'm sure.
Yep.
Jesus.
Speaking of which, what do you think of the Jet Optimus?
Man, that Optimus does not have as much paint on him as I'd like him to.
No, he's very blue.
Yeah, he is super blue. More blue than I remember any other Optimus Prime being, but that could just
Bright
be
blue.
Yeah, bright blue, not dark blue. I guess the add-on kit looks, the add-on pieces I guess look okay. It's a bit disturbing that the front of Prime's feet have basically been broken off and pushed forward.
Yeah.
So like his front foot is going halfway up to his knee. That's a bit disturbing to see. I guess it replicates it okay. Again, it's neat at least that the Jetfire can do that. Look decent-ish as a robot and look decent-ish as a jet. There's definitely money and time and effort being put into these figures, which is neat.
It's kind of weird he doesn't have his big, like, crazy cannon.
Did he have a cannon?
Yeah, he had like a big arm cannon that's just like strapped around his whole arm. It got blown up or something near the end.
Oh, I can't remember that, to be honest.
Because he used it to shoot the top of the pyramid.
I'll have to take your word for it. I don't plan to ever watch that movie again. So
no, it was an awful movie.
The worst. The worst. What's the next one? Bumblebee, isn't it? We've talked about this one before, I feel, right?
We've seen renders. This is the first physical.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say the third-party one's cooler. And it has a lot more paint apps on it than just a green
paint
Bumblebee.
On this is terrible.
Silver. There, done.
No, look at the vehicle mode.
Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the robot. Green on green.
Not even green. It looks like someone literally true painted it.
A little bit.
I can see brush strokes.
Yeah, I think they were going for the camo look, but it I don't think it really panned out. I think it might have been better to get like a stencil or something like that and do it like that. But again, I'm not into toy manufacturing. And I'm sorry, the chest underneath the front of the car is still super visible and really, really obnoxious.
But Andy, it's a cow catcher.
No.
They catch military cows.
No. Why wouldn't you at least say mines? At least that'd be more believable than military cows.
Military cows were the greatest threat in World War II. Ask any historian.
To be fair, Pigs of War was a pretty good PS1 game. That's a lie. It wasn't. It wasn't a great game. It was a knockoff Worms, but with pigs. What's next?
Barricade.
The Masterpiece came out.
Yeah, the other one had no relevance.
I don't mean that entirely. For Deluxe, this is again better than the first version. If you remember that toy.
Repainted a Bumblebee.
Yeah, we've talked about him.
And
the one with the dreads, the other dreadlocked one. No, it's not Barricade.
Still can't remember his names.
No, I've no
It's either
idea.
Crankcase or Berserker. I know it's the one it shouldn't be.
Weren't there three?
Yeah, but I know I know it's the one whose head, it's Berserker was the toy that got released, and then they redid him as someone else, but now they're releasing him as the guy he was originally based off of, but they're using the wrong head.
What?
I don't know.
Who are you? Who decided to make this mess? Yeah, I mean, it's that toy again, but with goldy plastic, goldy caramel kind of color plastic on him. So, I mean, if you like this mold, jobs are good and rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's another one to add to the team, I guess.
I think that's everything. Take us on.
Okay, Mikey. Kanaja, and I assume America, and America as well, has had the advanced screenings of Transformers Bumblebee before the rest of the world. And we have received information. Well, not we personally, but I mean, we've got info from Rotten Tomatoes on the fresh meter, I think it's called, and the that's from critics, and we've got what the users as well think as well. And it seems to be doing rather well. We've got the stats of 100%, which seems a tad suspect and untrustworthy in my eyes. But then again, I will talk about my opinion on Rotten Tomato later. Other percentages for the previous movies was the '07 movie was 58%. Transformers the movie, our movie, Mikey, mine and yours, that we made together in the Battlock studio, that got 57%, which seems a little bit harsh, especially compared to the '07 movie, which I'd say it's better than the '07 movie, but that might be nostalgia talking.
I'd say this list is not representative of how I'd put them, but
yeah, it's close for me, I suppose. Dark of the Moon's 35%. Revenge of the Fallen should be a lot lower than it is. It's 19%. Age of Extinction is 18%, and The Last Night is 16%. And I guess I know why Revenge of the Fallen, then Age, then Last Night kind of go that way, and that's I assume people's interest or ability to take terrible or to tolerate shit, I think dropped at percentages. Mikey, you've been looking a bit more at reviews than I have from the sounds of things today. How have you been taking these reviews? What have they been saying in general? Obviously, without any kind of spoilers.
People are enjoying the new designs. People are enjoying the new the Cybertron scenes. People are enjoying the characterization of Bumblebee. People, although they are saying something slightly worrying, like he's kind of like if a dog met a person.
I fucking knew that would be the case.
No. People are really praising the Charlie's actress, she's getting a lot of like top notch. John Cena is being praised. People are saying the Decepticons are cartoon villains, but that's, they have characters.
Okay, that's good at least.
People are praising the voice performances, the visuals, the tone, the action.
Are there any negatives?
Some people are saying the pacing is a problem in the middle.
Okay.
Because it spends a lot of time on Charlie's backstory, and apparently that does slow it down a bit.
Right.
But yeah, now, like the 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, if you don't know how Rotten Tomatoes works, that doesn't mean people are giving it 10 out of 10. So they say here it's 75 to 85% has to be your rating. So somewhere between 7.5 and 8.5 to get a certified fresh. So that would mean 100% of critics are giving it at least 7.5. Right?
Okay.
Now, some people would say that's actually more like it's if a critic is giving it over a mark of 6 out of 10, because basically certified fresh is it's better, it's on the plus side.
Right. So
it depends which one you go with. I checked out the reviews and they're averaging out about 7.5, a lot of 8s actually.
Yeah.
If you actually go with the top critics. What
do you mean by top? Do you mean in terms of their ratings or their prestige?
Prestige.
Oh dear.
They're giving it 8 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
But now there's only 14 reviews in total because obviously it's a preview screening. But it's getting easily the best press of any Transformers film. Now I really want to see reviews down the line, because a lot of reviews are it's the best Transformers film and oh my god, I hated the Michael Bay stuff, this is so much better. I want to see more reviews of this is a film taken in isolation in its own context.
Yeah. And of course there's the thing of coming out of a movie and saying it's the best thing ever, because we've done it before. I remember, well, not me personally, but I remember coming out of Revenge of the Fallen with people and them going, it was the best movie ever, wasn't it amazing? And me going, and I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel at the time, because I think I was becoming jaded at that point.
You wanted to like it.
Yes, I did. I really did want to like it, and then I kept watching it and went, oh no. And that is a thing, like when I see movies with my friends and they come out and they go, oh, it's 10 out of 10 movie, and then like 3, 4, 5 months later they're like, I think I'd give it more of a like 6 or 7, and I'm like, I know. And I was back there going 2, no higher. It's bollocks.
No. Yeah.
So that is certainly something to be aware of as well, I think.
Yeah. I want to, basically, until we've seen it ourselves, we can't really comment.
Of course.
There's previews going on here next week, so I'll probably see it then, but...
Yeah, I think, I don't know when I'm seeing it. I think I'm going to see it when the previews are out, depending when friends want to. I don't know.
Well, I might try and do a double bill with it in Spider-Verse, to be honest.
Oh, see, I'm just going to see Spider-Verse on Wednesday.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah,
cool, man.
I didn't want to do it this weekend. Oh, the release schedule for Spider-Man was weird. It was Saturday, Sunday...
Yeah.
and then Wednesday, and then I think it's is it on from then, or is it on from the weekend?
Officially the 14th.
Okay.
So
Yeah. If they might have it Wednesday and then not until Friday or Saturday. Bizarre. I'm looking forward to seeing Spider-Man though. Really looking forward to it. I'm trying not to get too hopeful because it's the only Marvel I'm getting excited for.
it's at 99 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So Bumblebee's better technically according to Rotten Tomatoes.
But also Bumblebee's new.
So was that?
I don't know what I mean by that, to be honest.
They came out on the same day.
I'm more looking forward to Spider-Verse, to be honest.
Yes, me too, to be honest.
But then again, I'm one of these people that saw the Avengers trailer and went, "Yep, that looks like another Marvel movie." And yet when I saw
low key.
Yeah, and yet when I saw the Spider-Verse trailer, I was like, "Oh shit, this looks nice."
Like people are freaking out about the Captain Marvel trailer, and it looks fine. But
I don't care. It's another Marvel. It looks like another. To me, it just looks like yet another Marvel movie.
And the problem with the Marvel movies is that they're very comfortable where they are right now.
Yeah, no one's really pushing it.
That's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't have said one was particularly good in between Captain America until you hit Black Panther, and I'd say the only one after Black Panther that really stands up is Infinity War.
I still haven't seen Black Panther because I just don't know if I care.
Yeah, like Spider-Man is good. It's just not brilliant in my opinion.
Homecoming, you mean?
Yeah, I like it. I wouldn't like seek it out. I am so tired of Teen Spider-Man in movies. Just let him go to college.
I was going to say, do you want 30-year-old Peter Parker, like from the cartoon?
Get him a job, at least. Like
Tobey Maguire had a job.
Have the one who's in college who's saying he's 18 but is clearly in his 40s. He was the best Peter Parker.
He wasn't bad. He wasn't
allowed to punch anyone.
Hang on. You don't mean that. You don't mean he's the best Spider-Man. You're lying.
Okay, I am lying.
You are lying.
I'm exaggerating for effect.
Yeah, because I just went, hang on, Spectacular Spider-Man. That is your favorite Spider-Man. He's certainly not a 30-year-old man pretending to be an 18-year-old.
Kind of is.
No, he's in high school.
Yeah, but he's like a 40-year-old man pretending to be a 15-year-old.
He's the responsibility and something Uncle Ben died because I was a wrestler.
Yeah, wrestler. I was a wrestler.
Who hires a high school kid to be in a wrestling show?
I don't know. How many high school kids can literally lift you off the ground if you don't hire them?
One. Enough.
Enough.
Any other thoughts on the Bumblebee stuff then?
Until I've seen it, I don't have a lot.
Because I don't particularly trust Rotten Tomatoes, to be honest. I never really have. I've never really gauged my opinion on if I should see a movie based on Rotten Tomatoes. I usually have a set amount of reviewers which I align with tastes, which is how I think anyone who's looking at reviews should look at the rest of that person's body of work, and if you agree mostly with them, then their opinion will carry a lot more weight with you than just seeing a random review for the movie from someone you don't know. Because it would be like someone, if someone, a lot of people actually say Evangelion is, we're going to use this example again because it's the easiest one I can use off the top of my head.
People are wondering, like, I've had people ask, like, can I direct them towards shows where we talk about this? No. And I'm just like, there was a period where you would have to struggle to find a show where we didn't.
Yeah, we went on about it for a while. But the example here is, a lot of people say it's an amazing film and or series or whatever, and they'd rate it really highly. But my opinions don't align with them at all. So it wouldn't be fair, because I would strongly disagree with them. But they wouldn't. They would say it's good. Anyway, I don't think I've phrased that well, but never mind. It's late. I'm playing with Micromasters, so never mind. Mikey, do you want to take us on to some sightings of things that were sighted recently?
Yeah, one, I just want to get it out of the way here. Power of the Primes, Prime Masters, Wave 3, found at UK retail.
Yes. Nice and dirty.
Wow. Found in UK retail via friend of TFW, Payrez, at Ben Tales in Kingston. I've never heard of that.
There were also
reports
coming
up
Forbidden
sightings
Planet as well, so...
Yeah, Forbidden Planet, so enjoy playing that. I saw the Terror Cons in Smiths.
Oh, well, recently.
A couple of days ago.
The deluxes or just Hungar?
The deluxes. Oh, and 2 Dinobots.
Which do?
Which make the Sludge and Snarl, so that's a bloody miracle.
Yeah. Did you buy them? Or tempted by them?
No,
or do you have them? I can't remember.
I've got the other 2. I've got the other 3. I'm tempted to get out of them, to be honest.
Really?
I didn't really enjoy him.
Is this a
And the
fans
whole-
project situation, but a much cheaper version of it?
Yeah, kind of.
That's fair. That's understandable.
But yeah, so we're finally getting a toy we should have had ages ago. But more importantly, War for Cybertron has been seen in UK retail. The Voyagers have been seen at Smith's in Boucher Road, Belfast, Wigan, and Preston. They are up on the website, but don't always trust the Smiths website. It is full of lies. Interesting thing, they're both priced at $23.99, which is cheaper than they have been for a while.
Yeah, that's nice.
And you can check the stock levels on their website. So if you're in the UK, check them out. Apparently, these are the two best toys of Optimus Megatron in forever. So.
Well, friend of the podcast, Mr. Colin Duff, also showed that they're at his stores as well, and he let both of us know that they were at Smith's, and also BotBots are at Smith's as well. On the Saturday, when Colin told me, I went, okay, I will believe you, Colin, and went to my store, and which I had not believed Colin, because mine had shit all. They had nothing.
Nothing.
They had Transformer RID toys, and I don't know if they had, movie, they had movie stuff, and that was it. There was no other Generations toys at all. I was like, oh, fucking Smiths, god damn it. This is why I should never go out to my toy store, because they never have anything there. Have you seen the prices for the BotBots?
No.
The pack of 8 was $14.99. The pack of 5, I think, was $9.99, I think.
Doable.
And I think that the blind bags, because I don't think there was another stage, was $2.99.
Yeah.
So I think the best deal was the 8 pack, because they kind of turned out to be like £1.87 each or something like that. And obviously they're not blind bags at that point, so there's one that's going to be a mystery, but for the most part you're going to get at least 7 that you know of. Do you think they're maybe a bit too high of a price? Because I don't know. I think £1.87 basically for a pack of 8 each isn't terrible. It's maybe a bit of a harder pill to swallow.
I think I'd pay it for 1 or 2. I wouldn't pay it if I was looking for a lot. The $14.99 is like maybe is doable.
I don't know.
Without having handled them, I think it's difficult to say.
I think I'd be tempted to buy the 8 pack and then maybe none after that, because I think that it's a good selection. It's a selection of 8, and then you never have to buy any more if you're like me. That seems like maybe a good way to go. But I don't know if the prices are fair. I think the prices are definitely much better on these 2 Voyagers, though.
Yeah.
Are you interested in any of these 2, Mikey?
Honestly, nothing in Siege is really grabbing me.
Okay, because I did get to finagle and hand feel Mr. David's toys this weekend, and he had all of them.
And then played with his Transformers.
But he didn't have any of the smaller figures. Like, he didn't have any of the Battlemasters or the Micromasters, because, you know, he bad tastes and whatnot. So I got to play with Cog. Yeah. Yeah, he's really reliant on his gimmick, I think, more than anything else. He didn't feel like a satisfying figure. I don't think it helps that Cog has arguably a trash alt mode.
What, falling down?
Yeah, pretty much, and splitting in half. That's his alt mode. It's just shit. Brunt at least has a bit more oomph to his alt mode, I feel. I definitely didn't feel that with Cog. I have absolutely no inclination to buy a Cog. I think the idea behind his play pattern of, you know, pull him apart and then stick him on pegs and ports is better when you have more things. But currently at the moment, unless you buy multiple Cogs, to me, didn't feel that amazing. Flywheels. I got to play with Flywheels. He was okay. Again, he didn't really do it for me. I think he was better than Battletrap, from what I was feeling on him. But I didn't like how the lower half became the tank. Because the way that the top halves kind of fold, the thigh parts, I think they were, the fold round to form the top of the turret, didn't really feel like they connected in solidly. And I've looked at pictures and none of them look like they're a good, solid, firm connection in there. So I found that a bit disappointing. The robot mode is really good, though. I'd probably never want to transform him because the robot mode is his best mode. Hound, yeah. Okay. He was a good... Hey, Mikey.
And hound.
He was a good hound. He was a good hound. I don't know what else to say.
He was hound.
And he was good, I guess. Just boring, because he's hound. He didn't have a factor.
Boring.
Yeah, kind of.
He's hound so boring he couldn't even be the main character in the show he was designed to be the main character in. For his human appeals, friend Spike, he got taken over by Bumblebee.
I don't think it helps that he's coloured in like a super dark army green. At least with the Generations toys, he was brighter. I wouldn't say he was a lot brighter, but he was a bit more colourful, and I think that helped that out a bit. What was the other deluxe for the line? Do you remember? Cog, Flywheels, him,
Hound, and
there's one more, right? Why can't I remember?
Why can't I remember you? It's an Autobot. Sideswipe.
Sideswipe. Yeah, I played with Sideswipe. He's very much. I'd put him in the exact same category as Hound. It's like, yep, he's perfectly fine.
What if he was G2?
The mold didn't really have me, to be honest. I didn't find it a very interesting mold to play with. It's fine. It does what it's set out to do, but again, it did the whole foot. Do you remember the Generations Sideswipe? How you where you put the feet? You kind of flip them around and put them inside the thighs or the shins. This toy does the same thing. I was like, oh, all right. So it's kind of retreading a bit of an old transformation ground, which I thought was a bit of a shame. It's just like, yeah, whatever. But more importantly, Megatron and Optimus. I was very surprised by Optimus. Very surprised. That made me want that mold. I don't want Optimus Prime, but I want that mold. I want this to be done as, like, I'd even buy an Evangelion version for reasons based on the show that maybe we're going to start watching soon. Even though it wasn't Evangelion, it's close enough. I would certainly buy a Shattered Glass version of this. Certainly. Or a Nemesis colored version of this, definitely. Not an Ultra Magnus, because that's boring, it's just white. And I don't care for owning another Optimus Prime, but I can say that this was a very fun transformation. It does a lot of really interesting things with how the chest comes together. And sure, it's a faux chest. The grill on his front isn't his real grill, but the windows are. And I like how all the panels and everything snaps snugly into place. Everything feels very tight. The only thing I wish is maybe when you put the neck joint down, it kind of locked a bit more into place. It's not as bad as Megatron's, but I kind of wish there was a bit more of a pressure point to connect it into. Not that it's a big deal. Megatron, really good in robot mode as well. Really, really good robot mode. Tank mode is just not there. It's just, again, boring. It's not a very fun transformation either, I found. But the robot mode is certainly a lot of fun. My issue of his head not, again, connecting solidly into position, and you can kind of knock it up and down fairly easily, I genuinely think is a bummer for it. Which really does put me off buying this figure. Which is a shame because I would probably get it otherwise. If, I hate to say it, if a third-party company does this figure and has the neck connect into a bit more of a better slot, I'd be much more tempted to get it. But I think you could, if you saw these cheap, Mikey, I wouldn't say pass them up. At least one of them. Yeah. Or if you have someone you can finagle, touch theirs first and have a good feel of that toy.
Then steal it?
I mean, depending how friendly you are with your friends, that's up to you and them at the end of the day. I'm not here to judge. I mean, I literally judge you as much as I humanly can.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not here to judge, but I'm doing it anyway.
I think that's all the news we've got for this week, though, Mr. Mikey, unless you've got anything else.
No, that's it for this week.
Well, Mikey, were there any bits of news last week that I talked about that you didn't get to talk about that you wanted to talk about? Seemingly like Masterpiece toy prices and yes. I don't know if there's anything else.
Okay, one thing I'll get out of the way really quick. The Don Glut thing where he's going to TF Nation.
The what, sorry? Oh, the writer, yes.
Yeah, Donald Glut. That's fascinating to me.
Why is it fascinating?
Okay, for 3 reasons. 1, he's a really prominent amateur paleontologist.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he did like an encyclopedia there that was really, really popular. He even advised on the paleontological accuracy of Carnosaur, the movie from 1993. 2, his other claim to movie fame is he makes what are casually called titty movies.
Are they pornos or?
Not quite, but they're as close as he can get them.
Okay.
If you go onto his website, he's got a private museum of dinosaur fossils, and if you scroll down his gallery, It's unavoidable, by the way, not something you can turn off. About half of the pictures are skulls and bones and stuff being held next to models in skimpy bikinis with increasing breast size.
So is he like a paleontologist Hugh Hefner kind of deal?
Kind of. His website is actually run by like an LA model company.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And 3, and this is the best one, he doesn't like Transformers.
Does he not?
So
How do you know he doesn't like Transformers? Has he said this regularly or something?
he said it in an interview in 2001. I have the quote. Would you like to hear the quote?
Sure, yeah. Why not?
When asked about Transformers, no one, not even the story editors, looked at these scripts very carefully. I seem to remember the show being on a really tight schedule and we had to crank these scripts out fast. I wrote some of them in a single day, first draft, then went almost immediately to storyboard after Bryce or an assistant gave them a rather cursory read. We were not trying to create art, just get them done fast and get paid. None of the writing in the series, in my opinion, was good or passionate, or sometimes, my own included, even adequate, but we got paid well for writing fast. I was never a fan of any of it.
I don't think that's unfair. I think that's very much a statement of its time that it was done in.
But it's going to be fascinating to see him at a convention where they're used to everyone going like, we love Transformers. This is the best thing we've ever worked on.
What was your favourite thing about working on Transformers? The money! Money!
It was the money. It paid for the boobies. And the bones. And my boner.
Yeah. Do you think he would be more diplomatic now, especially since he's gone to a Transformers convention? Or do you think he's a man that doesn't give a fuck?
I think he's a man who doesn't give a fuck.
That'd be interesting then. Because in all honesty, you read that and I'm not sure if anybody listening was like, gasp, but to me that just makes a lot of sense because Transformers was there to sell a toy and nothing else. It was not a passion project. It was not anyone really caring. And I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of cartoons back then were kind of like that.
Oh, they were like
The Simbo
well
stuff,
documented.
certainly. Like G.I. Joe, I'm sure is the exact same shit.
I just wanted to really just rip off someone's rose-tinted glasses. It was all shit. I'm only here because I got paid,
and that's perfectly fine. It's weird then that if you think about it that way, it's weird then that we connected so much with stuff that people didn't give a fuck about. It's a strange thing, I guess.
And it all culminated in a pair of detachable breasts.
Woo! Bringing it back.
And oral rape porn, which I discussed earlier. See before.
Yay.
Masterpiece. The Masterpiece Prime.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see justification for the price. The accessory count is pretty high. And he comes with a trailer, blah, blah. But assuming the base figure has the same engineering as Megatron. And I feel that might be assuming quite a bit.
Who knows?
You're looking at between 170 to a 200 figure. Based on the same price. Based on, say, Dinobot Megatron-ish. Beast Wars Megatron, right? I'm not seeing an extra $100, $150, $200 worth of extras.
No.
Now, as people have pointed out, you can pre-order and you can get it cheaper.
Sure.
So if you're interested, pre-order it. You'll get it for about 100 to 150 less.
That's still a lot.
It's still a lot of money to pay. I would say if it was more the $300 range, I could just kind of convince myself, again, if the engineering is there.
Mm-hmm.
But that is... Chris made a point. He's just tired of people like flipping out a price of an expensive product. And,
sure.
It's an expensive product. It is what it is. We defended Flame Toys pretty ardently when their prices came out.
Mm-hmm.
And to other people, they're just crap because they don't transform. But here, like... Megatron, you can justify the price. Dinobot, you can justify the price. Beast Wars Megatron, just by the sheer size of the thing, you can justify the price. This guy, I can justify part of the price. Not much else. I'm very dubious on him, I have to admit. I want to see a transformation video, and if it is just like absolute magic, then yeah, but that's a lot. That's a lot of extras, and the thing like, oh, well, you can buy it early. That's a lot of money to invest in something you're not sure about.
Yeah.
And people are saying, like, oh, I can get the third-party ones or whatever. But, like, cool, but that's not really the point. Because I think, some people are saying it's being influenced by the Pokemon thing from Takara, and that's nonsense. I'm sorry. It's just nonsense.
I think it's an interesting theory, though.
It's an interesting theory, but it's not one particularly grounded in reality. Just because then why aren't we seeing a similar price hike across all of the car and not just like this one incredibly high-end item? You would be seeing it across their entire toy range if it was going to be, and like if it was going to be this kind of jump, believe me, Takara would have bigger problems than losing part of the Pokemon license, not even all the Pokemon license. It's been suggested that it's the third-party influence. I think third-party has more of an effect on mainstream than we think. But I think where it works is market research. Because, I'm sorry, if anyone tried to convince me Combiner Wars and Titan's Return had nothing to do with the trends in third-party a year or two beforehand, I would be calling bullshit. I would be calling severe bullshit, because it's kind of blaringly obvious. Once you factor in the development cycle of toys, that someone saw how these were selling and said, okay, there's a market here. But would the higher prices from third party make them drive up the prices here? Because they know now third party are getting cheaper in a lot of places.
Yes.
I feel this is someone testing the waters. I feel this is someone putting their toe into a pond and seeing what bites.
You think so? You think this is just to see how far they can
push it?
Push
I
it.
think if gun to my head, that's what I'd say. And the thing is, I think they've been told that they can push it pretty fucking far, because the Japanese retailers are sold out in pre-orders. So I think they've been told, like, okay, if we make this, they will come.
If we make it, they will come.
They will come. So that's kind of my whole masterpiece viewpoint.
Okay. So you're gonna buy one then?
You can buy me one if you like.
That's not what I said. That's not even close to what I said. Was there anything else that you can remember from last week that you might want to throw your thoughts on?
Nothing that really jumps at me.
All right, fair enough. Well, Mikey, what have you been up to this week? What have you done for fun, son?
Not a lot. Bits
Well,
and
that's
bobs.
disappointing.
Want to hear something weird?
Well, I mean, that's why I come each week. I'm hoping to hear something weird from you.
Justice League ain't bad.
The movie, you mean?
I ended up watching it at a friend's house, and just because they just put something on for background watching, and I was just like, it's not terrible. It's better. It's a lot better than Superman and Batman.
The bar is not high.
No, it's average. It's a very average movie, but it ain't the shitstorm it's been marketed as.
No, I wasn't a fan. Personally.
Oh, I'm not. I am not I will never watch it again willingly. But it's just
No.
it's harmless enough. The performances are about on point. The writing isn't very good. Superman's way too much of a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's not the shitstorm that say Man of Steel was. Thank God.
Yeah, Steppenwolf is terrible.
Oh yeah, Bobbins.
He's really bad.
Fucking Bobbins.
And Wonder Woman gets fucking nerfed. But yeah, it's fine. That's also that's Bart Allen, not Barry Allen. That's absolutely Bart.
That's not what
Like,
the movie said.
But everyone like, oh, it's Wally West. Just like, ain't Wally either. It's Bart. Read a comic, people. I also watched Mowgli, the new Netflix movie, which was a live action Jungle Book.
Oh, you mean the live action Jungle Book?
Oh no, a different live action Jungle Book.
I know, it's stupid.
Yeah,
What?
but the dark live action Jungle Book.
Oh, is it dark, is it?
It's closer to the book, so like there's things like Shere Khan's got a crippled paw. There's a lot more dead people, and there's more like people get quite bloody, animals get quite
Is
bloody.
it narrated and is it in black and white and is it always raining?
There is narration, but only in the framing devices.
Is it Frank Miller narration?
Oh my god. I'm sitting in my tree, feeling things. I'm black. The Black Panther. Cause big ear. But so core concept works. The movie's getting really bad reviews. I don't think it's that bad.
Do you think it's getting bad reviews because it came out close-ish to the Jungle Book?
There are three big factors giving it bad reviews because four if you count the timing. So, one, for some reason, Andy Serkis, who was in charge of the animation side of things, decided to sort of try and superimpose people's faces onto the animals they're playing.
What? Why? What?
So, like, Shere Khan is Benedict Cumberbatch, so he has a really weirdly short face.
No.
And, like, Christian Bale is Bagheera, and from certain angles, it looked like someone has done, like, an Animorphs thing.
Was this like a weird artistic thing that was thought conceptually as a really cool, deep
It was
thing?
the motion capture.
Right.
He was going like full motion capture expressions, but with animals. So, but like with some, it kind of works. Like Baloo, it's not too bad. Circus is playing him, and they do a lot of stuff to give him like floppy lips, and he's covered in scars and things. So that you can still see Circus in there. And Ka, her face is just so not human, so you can't really see the actress in her. But like I would say some of the wolves, Shere Khan and Bagheera, are the big kind of like, this is a bit uncanny valley, guys. I would say the animation is kind of a problem as well in general, just because it's not top quality. It's decent, but it's not top quality on the animals. I would say the main actor lets it down. Mowgli, he's not a particularly strong child actor.
Right.
And he gives some really bad like line deliveries here and there. I would also say there's some weird voice acting choices.
Okay.
There's direction more than anything else. Like Bagheera is constantly talking like he's Batman.
Is that why you were doing?
Comforting.
Is that why you were pretending he was Batman when doing the narration? Okay.
Yeah. I would say like everyone's got really thick British accents, even if the actor isn't British.
Oh, that's
except one guy, except one who's Scottish.
Okay, who's Scottish?
So one of the wolves.
Oh.
He's just the main wolf. He's Scottish.
Weird. And
it's weirdly distracting. We're like all these really English wolves, and I'm just like, I believe the boy should be allowed to stay in the pack.
Oh no, Mikey, don't do that.
Oh yes, I'm Sean Connor Wolf.
Oh no.
Oh yes. But I would say the absolute worst performance was Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh really? Okay, interesting.
So you know how he did Smaug?
Yes, he did that fairly well. Actually, it was one of the only
like
decent things.
Over the top. Yeah, but he did this really over-the-top, slimy, snaky thing.
Yeah.
That's not Shere Khan.
No, because he's not a snake, as you suggested with how he voiced it.
But he basically kind of applies that logic to Shere Khan.
Well, that's wrong.
So he is overacting the hell out of it.
Oh dear, that's a shame.
So, and there's this. It's kind of funny at times because he's like, "You will have man cub," and he will say it like that, man cub.
Does everybody just kind of look at each other like, "What's wrong with this guy? He's crazy."
But what else? Like, you're using a weapon. Oh, you'll die now. I taste the blood. Like, what the fuck are you smoking?
He wasn't going for a subtle performance then.
No, he was wandering through some sort of leaves on his way over to tell everyone he was going to eat the child. He was just like, "Oh my god, guys. I can see the trees." You're in the trees. And it's amazing. It's just when you went, man cub, I was just like, Jesus fuck. When you compare him like to Idris Elba when he played him.
Yeah.
That's like very different performance. But the core concept works, I think. It's just let down by some of the particulars.
Okay.
Because I like this, like, you know, Shere Khan's not this over powerful nut job thing he always is. Like, when people tell him to back up, if there's enough of him, he'll back up. Because he's got the crippled paw, which none of the other... It's in the book, but none of the other adaptations have ever included.
Okay.
So, it's nice. They like the way they use, like, he can't retract his claws, so they're constantly dragging on the ground.
Ah, neat. Okay.
So,
that's intimidating, or could be.
Yeah. But it's just like, when you have that, and he just like, Benedict Cumberbatch with stripes, going... Thunderbolt Fantasy is coming to an end. Episode 10. Mostly violence, this one. Mostly violence. Not bad at all. Love the violence in Thunderbolt Fantasy. Definitely a weaker story series. Now, I liked the story in season 1. I think here it's like, well, we've done the Urabachi, like, twist stuff and all the character stuff. But since most of the side characters aren't involved in this one, and the two main characters don't do much together, they're kind of passing each other a lot. There's not a lot of grab in that regard.
That's a shame because I wasn't too amazed by the story in the first season. So if this is kind of lesser than that, that's a bit of a shame then.
Still gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, there's an action scene in this one, and it's just like ha 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 ha.
I'm looking forward to the pretty.
Gridman episode 10.
I hear that show shit and no one likes it.
Oh, that show so shit. No one should watch that show.
2 more weeks.
This is going places.
Do you think
it'll be not happy places?
Do you think it'll be bad when it ends because it'll be over and there'll be no more Gridman?
Yes, but I really wish this was a 26 episode season.
Yeah.
But like there's a reveal here that it's like a character thing I did a little research into. It's like cutting into a bit of Gridman that is connected to Trigger from like 2005.
Oh, okay.
An anime short, so there's a reference there.
There's which anime short, or is it just a random anime short?
Boy Make Hero or something like that.
Okay, it's not the Gridman anime short that they kind of did to prepare for this show.
No. It's like the one they did when they were saying, "Oh, we could do a anime sequel show."
Okay.
Years ago.
Right.
So, like, because it's got the original Gridman design and everything else in it.
Yeah.
There are loads of the mech references are deep cuts these days.
I haven't actually like not many people are putting up the sick stuff anymore. I'm guessing people have either gotten burnt out or they've just given up.
It's too much. It's just too much, and plus, like, it's getting like the Transformers stuff is now like, okay, we've done those, and now because we're spending a lot of time with like Gridman, that means we've got more mecha references because he's all mecha references.
Okay, that's why.
And they're like, here's a panning shot that references a panning shot from a show that was from the 1980s.
Yeah, right.
And no one heard about then. Or like how his super move is based off of a Brave thing. I think it's the Garn. It's one of the Brave things where it's just like a sword and he slices people, but it's like move for move identical.
Wow. Okay.
Like. But the monster in this one was nuts. There's really good audio in this. Like, I was uncomfortable with the sounds it made. But yeah, like, new character of important introduced who looked super cool. And that's an ending.
Mm-hmm.
That's an ending to an episode. Shit. Man.
It's almost over.
Shit.
Yeah.
Watched a bit of TV in general. Nothing else I can think to bring up.
Okay.
But yeah, that was me. What about you, Andy?
Well, I went to see at the cinemas My Hero Academia. Two heroes. Something. Is it just two heroes? Or is it
My Two Heroes or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I went to see that, and that that was exactly what you would expect from a shonen anime movie. It's fine. It's okay. It's nothing amazing, but it was nice to see it on the big screen. I went to see it as a complete weeb and saw the subbed version. Before I went into the cinema, I was like, "This is the subtitled version as well, isn't it?" She's like, "Well, I think it is." It's like, and she's like, "Well, if it's not, you can come out and change it." I was like, "Better." I don't want to watch no fucking dub shit. None of that bull hockey. It's really weird because you can really see where the budget goes into some scenes as the animation quality just goes boom and explodes upwards, and then it kind of drips back down to your TV standard, so it kind of matches the rest of the footage, and then you go, oh, okay. It takes a long time to get going, and there's a really protracted scene of like, hey, how did all of you guys get here as well? And it goes through each of the characters and how they got there, and you're like, oh my god, really? You all just happened to be here as well? Really? Okay, well that's convenient. But they do shelve like 3 heroes. They shelve Sue as well, so that's that's bullshit. They also shelve the Invisible Lass.
Boo!
Yeah, because she's delightful, and they
shelve Bakugo.
And no, he's full.
Fuck him.
And they shelve the Snail Girl, Acid Alien Queen Lady.
Oh, they're shelving all the good ones.
Yeah, I know. They shelved all of them. You got to keep Bakugo though. Oh, they shelved Sugar Man and the guy with the raccoon tail and the guy that shoots tape out of his arms.
I'm less concerned about them.
Agreed. Yeah, it's okay. The problem is you have the fight scene at the end, and it tries to do things a bit like you've seen season 3, haven't you, Mikey?
Yeah.
They try and do parts of that which emulate, I think, in a lot of ways, things in the fight from All Might versus All for One, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, it doesn't have the resonance that it did at all in the series, and it's almost not fair to compare it, but I suppose you kind of easily can as well, and probably should as well at the same time. It's perfectly fine, it's perfectly watchable, and it made me go, you know what, I might just go and see the fucking Broly movie. Why not?
I probably will. I'd more likely to I had an opportunity by the end of it, and I was just like, I've seen too many of these, like, here's a TV show that's airing of a manga that's ongoing, and here's a spin-off movie.
Yeah.
That was produced and those never end well. But I know this got good reviews. So
Which
I
one,
was
the
like,
Broly one or the
no,
My Hero?
the Hero Academia one.
Okay.
But the Broly one is like a full movie.
Right.
So I am more like, apparently it was originally going to be like 3 hours long.
God damn! I would have liked to have seen who decided that was the case.
We're just going to be like an hour of Broly charging.
You're screaming Kakarot and all our bobbins.
Kaka Bobbins.
I will say that it was like I wish more anime movies kind of came over because I really did enjoy seeing it at the cinema. So that is really the reason why I'll go and see the Broly movie, because I want to try and get more movies over and
support.
Yeah, that's the only way that I can kind of do it and have the money to do it at the moment. So why not? Other things I did this week was I finished off Final Fantasy VII, Mikey. It's all done.
Good man.
Emerald's beaten, Ruby's beaten as well. I've never beaten them before. This was my first time.
No, I was going to say I've never done that.
They're really easy.
You know the trick.
I do. It took a bit of strategy and planning. You win the fight. I literally pressed no buttons to beat them. I started the round and then I won effectively, and it was all set up. It was.
Is it something where like you get infinite nights of the round?
No. Well, no, it's not infinite nights of the round. It was you had to. These were all master material, and it was really easy to master them because there's a spot in the crater where you fight magic pots. You give them an elixir, you kill them, and they give you like 2,000 AP, and with triple experience growth, it goes up and you go through it faster. So my combination was final attack, life, or revive. So when I die, I come back to life. Final attack, Knights of the Round. So when I die, I come back to life, and then I use Knights of the Round. Final attack, Knights of the Round again. So I come back to life, use Knights of the Round once, then use it again. And then have HP plus, so I have more HP. And then use the HP MP swap. So I have 9,999 MP, but only 999 HP. And then just for shits and giggles, I also throw in Final Attack Bahamut Zero.
Just because.
Yeah.
You can't, because it's Final Fantasy and you've got to have a Bahamut involved in some level.
Kinda. And I thought, you know what? It's a guaranteed one extra 9,999 damage, so why not? And I went into the fight, put down the controller, and, went to do the washing, came back, and I'd beaten Emerald. Because, he kills you very quickly. But you're throwing out 2 Knights of the Round each time, and with both of those being mastered, you can do that like 5 times. So that's 10 Knights of the Round, plus another 5 Bahamut Zeros. You win. But some people could say that's cheating and cheesing, and I would say the whole thing with the way I look at the Final Fantasy is you win before you go in, or you can win before you go into the match if you've planned it correctly. And that's what I decided to do, because it seemed like such a faff to grind down 1 million HP that Emerald weapon has.
Yeah, it's like I used to like follow. Oh, look at the strategies and everything else, and I'm just like, nope.
Yeah,
nope.
There was such a pain because Emerald weapon has this dumb attack where it does more damage to you the more materia you have equipped to yourself. So if you're fully stocked on materia, it'll just kill you. You just die. Even with barrier, it'll kill you. It's like, no, fuck off. I won't bother. You want to be a cheesy piece of shit? I can be a cheesy piece of shit as well. On your bike.
What you got?
Yeah, what you got, boy? What you got, boy? I did enjoy finishing Final Fantasy VII. That is still a fun game, and the music in that game is still very good.
Yep.
It still has its kind of down points where you're like, Keith Sith is still kind of shit. And I never had him in my party because he's shit.
Yep.
But yeah, it's fun. It's good. Tifa is best girl, easily.
Oh God, yeah. Like especially since the other one's dead. But even then,
damn, Mikey, that's cold, yo. That's cold.
Even then, Tifa is a good girl, and that whole movie where he was kind of neglectful, I think he needs to check himself a bit.
Advent Children has a lot of problems because, by the end of Final Fantasy VII, he's sorted out all of his emotional issues. He's happy, and he's like, okay, let's save the planet. Advent Children comes around, and he's all emo and mopey. He's more mopey and emo than Vincent.
Yeah.
And that's Vincent's entire fucking character.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, in Final Fantasy VII, he does kind of get over it, and
you mean
I'm
Cloud?
just saying this because... Yeah, because it is quite heavily implied. He gets over it because he gets laid. Like, they have the moment where everyone goes home for their moment,
Oh.
and him and Tifa are sitting there,
Yeah.
and then they're sort of leaning in, and then it fades to black, and next morning, Cloud's suddenly in a much more positive place.
I suppose that could be an interpretation. Certainly.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
If you want to go that route, I wouldn't fight you on it. It could just be two friends just getting along really nicely together, though.
Yeah, they ain't friends.
Damn, Mikey.
No. This is not Japan, where like, oh, I grow up with this really attractive, lovely girl who is really interested in me, and I never realized it.
No, he fancied her as well.
Yeah,
And she never noticed him.
yeah, it was and then he kind of died, and then it got complicated.
Yeah.
So
I think it's so weird that you can miss the entire Zack sub-story if you don't go back to Nibelheim.
it's so odd.
It's because it's so important to the story, and they're like, side stuff.
It's so bizarre.
I'm really interested to see what they bring over to the remake when/if it ever happens, because it's been like 3 years since that first trailer. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Things I hated though. I fucking hated the Shinra parade. I hate it. The controls are so fucking busted and broken. I love the music. I love the music for Junon and that thing, but fuck the parade and like turn left, turn right, spin your gun, left arm, right arm, twirly salute thing. It's like, oh my god, this is.
I've always
a pain
hated
in
the bloody
ass.
dolphin thing beforehand.
I didn't mind that. I was able to get through that fairly quickly, but I totally get why it's a pain in the ass as well.
Do you know what really gets me is when you got to revive that bloody girl, and you're like,
But you can't get too full. You can't get too
'cause
full.
you'll faint.
Yeah. It's like, god damn it, Cloud. And no one helps you.
no one's like, I'm trained in CPR.
Yep, it's just, oh, he's got this. I'd be like, I don't got this. No, help me.
She's dying.
Let's get Shiva, freeze her over, cryogenics. Science will fix her in the future.
Why did no one ever think of that?
It's the future's problem, not mine. But no, Final Fantasy VII, still a lot of fun, still enjoyable. I got some things in De La Posto. I got the Micromaster Combiner repaint of Six Wing, which was done into Superion.
I remember him.
Yeah, I got it because it was £12, and I was like, hey, it's cheaper than getting the £80 version, which I really want. So I like it. It's got some issues, it comes with 6 team members. My biggest issue is with the helicopter guy. For the helicopter blades, peg in, but they don't peg in to the point where you spin them around. So to turn the helicopter blades, you just kind of stiffly turn them. So I was like flicking them really vigorously and angrily, going as it wasn't spinning, because I was like, it's a helicopter, it should have spinning blades. A lot of these Micromasters as well have like really long legs, like really like disturbingly long legs, especially compared to some of the other, like, let's call them G1 Micromasters, where they were helicopters and stuff like that, but their legs weren't nearly as massive as they are on these guys. Plus the helicopter guy fits poorly onto the back. Like, he's meant to cover up the hole in the back of the torso piece, but it doesn't really work. It looks a bit on the shitty side. But he's neat. I like it. And I also got the Micromaster Military Patrol, I think they're called. The one I've been really wanting. The Decepticon ones that's a tank, a Jeep thing with a gun on top, a like SWAT car with a gun on top, and then a helicopter. And the thing that makes these ones harder to get is you can remove the guns on top of the car modes for some bizarre reason. And the one that is like a dune buggy that's very much like Swindle can actually hold his gun, which is a real fucking rarity because, Micromasters don't really come with guns and they certainly don't hold them. And the other problem usually is the helicopter dude doesn't come with his rotor blades, so I was able to get these relatively cheap. Really like them. They are a lot of fun. They're not as a rambunctious color scheme as my previous Micromaster purchase, which was the Monster Truck Patrol. They're much more muted. But I guess that makes more sense. And I was actually surprised that the tank guy has stickers on him. I was like, do Micromasters have fucking stickers? And I think some of them do, just not many. And this one actually has the stickers on him that have a Decepticon insignias. Again, something that I don't remember most Micromasters having on them. So that's neat. I like Micromasters. They're fun. I don't know if I talked about it last week, but Nicole sent me over some t-shirts So I have a Bloodborne t-shirt now.
Bloodborne.
I love that Bloodborne game. A hunter must hunt. A unter must be an unter. And a Kamen Rider Exade one as well, which was really nice. And I also, because I found out about Redbubble through Nicole, bought myself another Bloodborne top as well. So I got that through the post as well. And I think that's been my week. That's been all she wrote.
Excellent. We do have feedback this week, but my voice is going, so I'm going to leave it until next week.
Okay, because I didn't do any last week either, because I thought, may as well do it with you. We do have 2 bits of Patreon thing that I'll throw in now, because we have a new Patreon person, Roy Bochum, I think is how, Roy Bochum Weber. Thank you very much, sir, for signing up.
An amazing name.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy.
Roy Bochum Weber.
And Jay Aaron Poole upped his pledge to $2 as well, so now he can experience all of the terrible shows that we produce as well. So that's great. Thank you very much.
I did that thing where I remembered something I did that I meant to mention and forgot.
Oh, what was it?
I watched Hellsing Abridged.
Oh, okay. I'll throw it out right here now before you say anything. I'm not a big fan of Hellsing. Any version of Hellsing, and I'm not a fan of Hellsing Abridged either.
It's not as good as their DBZA. It has all the problems of Hellsing, which I feel like this shows what happens when you're abridging a problematic series. In that it really works when Alucard's around, and then he leaves for half the show.
See, my problem with it was it feels way too much like a 90s anime, which it is.
It is.
But it's just got nothing to it.
But then he was a cyborg.
What? I don't remember that.
There is a moment at the end where it's just like, and then he was a cyborg.
I don't remember that at all.
Yep. There's just a series of moments where it's just like, and then he was a werewolf, and then he was a cyborg, and then he was a blah. But it's just and also like the ending for Alucard, like his big final fight, is nonsense bollocks. But like the abridged thing is just like, I like they're taking Alucard, but then he leaves
for a long time.
And then he comes back, and then he gets kind of bitched over, because that's what happens in the thing.
Yeah.
They do it. They actually give him a better ending.
Oh, that's good.
There's just really. I just wish I'd watch. I just want him to be the thing, but then he's not, because the creator of the anime made a lot of poor mistakes and dragged it out for like 10 years out of 10 volumes or something.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it took ages to finish.
Oh God.
But yeah, that's my contribution.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a big fan of that series. I gave up with the abridged stuff as well for Hellsing, because I just don't care for Hellsing at all. So never mind. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if they wanna?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Palo, and YouTube as UWolfie3. You can contact us via the Moonbase 2 Twitter, or you can send us an email over at themoonbase2@gmail.com.
We will answer them. Don't worry.
At some day when I can speak.
Yay.
I've already recorded another podcast before this, so my voice is going.
You've been wrecked. You can find me on Twitter as CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, all those fancy RSS places and all that kind of jazz. You can also find us on YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast, and all the other places Mikey mentioned beforehand as well. And if you want to sign up to Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2, and if you do $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files to Teletron 2. You also get it a week early. You get other special shows a week early as well. And you also get the exclusive Moonbase Woo Woo show. And you can find all my nonsense on the ccbunker.weebly.com, I think is it. I think we're done, Mikey. Yay.
Indeed.
Yay. Thank you for joining me, Mikey. It's nice to have you back. It's nice not to talk to the void, as I do every day, every single day of the week.
It's nice to be here. Why do I always come in for the things for boobs?
Anyway, we will catch you next week, everybody.